that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 laps and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here from the Low T Center studio. 6 minutes past the top of the hour. Last day of the month, 2020. Remember this day. Write this on your calendar. Remember this day because this is the last day that college athletics will be the way it is. Because come midnight, 12 a.m., July 1st, college athletics will never be the same. For the good, for the bad, for the ugly, we'll see when we get there. But it's about to get real. It's about to be very, very, very different. So get your popcorn ready. Ben, do you have your popcorn ready?
Yes, buttered and all. Are you a buttered popcorn kind of guy?
All day.
But how much butter? That is the key.
Not that much.
Okay, I won't.
A white cheddar guy, actually.
Ooh, I love me some white cheddar popcorn.
Yeah,
love me some white cheddar popcorn. But if I am in a movie theater, which I have not been to a movie theater in a very long time, I put so much butter on my popcorn that I have to get like 7 to 10 napkins in place on my lap. I love to butter my popcorn up. My wife does not like how much butter I put on my popcorn.
What's a movie theater?
What is that?
Dude, I Netflix and chill.
I know. I kind of do you at all miss the nostalgia of the movie theater? I mean, you more so than I, or both of us. I mean, we grew up going to the movie theater.
Oh man, that's why plotted my moves. As a middle schooler, man, you can't drive, you can't go on a real date, so you have to
improvise.
Go to a place where you can hang out for a long period of time. So you got to pick out the longest movie, which is why I watched Titanic, 18 times as a middle schooler. True story, man. The movie's like 3.5 hours long.
How much of the movie would you actually watch?
I mean, I've watched bits and pieces 18 times, so I can say
piece it together.
I watched the whole movie.
Maybe like 2 or 3 times you've watched it.
No, I watched the whole movie more than I would probably like to admit.
Not a big fan of the Titanic?
No, it was stupid. The movie is about one of the largest, most powerful ships wrecking. They don't take 3 hours to do a movie about that. They just threw in this love story with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. I think that's how you say her name. They made it long and drawn out. The boat's gonna crash. What are we waiting on? Let's go. Why are we doing this in, third hour of the movie or the second, 2 hours to the movie? So no, man. That's not why I watched the movie though, Ben.
I completely understand.
Hung out with my friends. I was doing hood rat stuff with my friends.
Your friends who are girls.
Hey man, it was like you get a group of guys, you get a group of girls, and you go to the movies. That's what you do.
But you don't miss the nostalgia of going to the movies?
A little bit.
Going in and getting your popcorn, and I was a popcorn and pick out a candy type of guy.
It was cool. I took my family when Black Panther dropped.
Mm-hmm.
We watched that in the movie theater. That was really cool.
That might have been the last movie that I went and watched in person.
Yeah. I was like,
I couldn't wait for it to come out on DVD or a streaming service.
Good movie. And I don't do all that, but man, I was even clapping when that movie ended, man. I was like, yeah, this is my movie. And since then I've watched Black Panther like 4 or 5 times. But I hope you got your popcorn ready, man, to sit back. I know I do. Sit back and kind of watch how the NCAA is about to completely change here in a few hours. All while Tennessee is still under investigation. It kind of feels dumb, honestly, if you think about it. Like here's Tennessee is kind of still under this investigation, but here at midnight, athletes are about to be getting some bags.
Big bags. Texas already has 2 players lined up with deals. I saw that come across my timeline yesterday. Did not read the story. Shame on me.
Who's the head coach of Texas?
Steve Sarkisian.
Where did he come from?
USC. Washington. Alabama.
SEC. Yep, Alabama.
SEC.
Who else have you heard of that already have deals in place?
Well, Brock Vandagriff has one or is close to one.
What school he play at?
Quarterback of Georgia.
So those 2 connections are an SEC team.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I predicted.
Would you like a gold star?
Actually, I would. It's been a while since I've had those. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever had those. Had one of those, but yeah, I would love one if you have one. Thank you. But it's what I predicted, man. There's a lot of folks that are dragging their feet. There's a lot of folks that are thinking about it, overthinking about it, waiting to see what's going to happen, waiting to see what other rules are going to be passed, waiting to see what other teams are going to do. And I knew there would be some teams that are either have already won championships or like on the brink of winning a championship that's willing to do whatever it takes to get over the hump, overrated Kirby, that will do what it takes to use the NIL to their advantage. And the good thing about them is like they got marketable dudes. They have marketable dudes. Even an offensive lineman, we rarely see those guys on TV. When last time you saw the best offensive lineman in the NFL in a commercial? You don't see that. But what you do see is you see Patrick Mahomes. You see Aaron Rodgers. You see DK Metcalf. You see Russell Wilson. You see skill position players. You see Aaron Donald, defensive player of the year. It feels like the last 50 years, you know. But when is the last time you've seen an offensive lineman really in a national commercial?
Why'd you have to throw national commercial in there?
Oh, just in commercial period.
Last season, Trey Smith.
A commercial, a TV commercial?
Mm-hmm. He was on one of those commercials promoting Tennessee.
That's great. He ain't getting paid for it. Didn't get paid for it.
Nope.
My point is, Demarius Mims is about to get a deal. Here that I read, reading here on CBS Sports
from Tennessee. From Jeremy Pruitt's Tennessee staff. Is that the deal that he's about to get?
Nah, not so fast, my friend. Not so fast, little grasshopper.
I believe it's young grasshopper.
Young, little, whatever. But you got to be marketable to get a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing's about to get crazy because, reading it CBS Sports, athletes, and most athletes should be able to make about $1,000. When it comes to tweets. You see if you're a Tennessee fan, you kind of see Velus Jones get ahead of the curve with this YouTube page and getting those subscribers. So social media is going to be a big hit for a lot of these players, but not everyone is created equal. Of course, your most marketable players, your quarterbacks, your skill position players, the guys who are making the plays and people want to see and people want to hear from. Of course, those guys have a little bit better of an earning potential than others, but where's the end of the road? The opportunities are going to be limitless, it seems. What's going to stop a car dealership from basically giving a kid a car? No, thank you, sir. I would rather, you give me a car than me, do a commercial. You can pay me with a car instead of, some cash or whatever. But what's going to stop a car dealership from doing that? And the NCAA won't be able to do anything about it. autograph signings. The kid is worth however much he asks for. That's your value. And how do you limit that? How do you say, hey, recruit, when you come here, this is what we're going to do. And when he gets here, everything that you promised, you do an autograph signing, and you give him $100,000. Wait a minute, he can't do that. Well, his fee was $100,000. Why can't it be? Why can't his fee be $100,000? But enjoy today, because this is the last day that college athletics will be the way it is. Because tomorrow, it's about to get crazy. It's so crazy that players in the transfer portal are out here soliciting opportunities, encouraging people to hit their DMs.
Like, dude, nobody even knows who you are.
You're in the transfer portal. Like, it probably works best if you're on a team. So you got folks in the transfer portal that's like, yo, starting July 1st, we'll be able to brand ourselves. My DMs are open to all potential opportunities. How about you worry about what team you're going to play for next year? But it's about to get crazy. And I was reading an article, again, CBS Sports, about Wisconsin quarterback, how things are laid out for him. His sister's going to take care of his social media account. His dad's going to handle, a lot of the business stuff for him so he can focus on football. But how many kids won't have that support?
A lot.
A lot. Most. He says he's going to be the one who says yes and no to deals. But he has that support system. So the school can't provide deals, only provide education. But what about management? Who's going to manage and help these young men when they are getting deals and they're trying to determine what's the best one for them? Who's going to allow them to be able to focus on football and focus on the athletics and academics without allowing the NIL to be a distraction to them? Who's going to create the management team? Or will that be left up to just the parents? And how many athletes won't have that support? The McSwain management team, Ben McKee, Jason Swain, will handle your deals. You just make plays. That's the tagline. We'll handle the deals. You just make plays. You just focus on your schoolwork, focus on your athletics. But there's going to be a ton of distraction. Let's go to the phones and let's get to Andy first. Andy, good morning.
Good morning. How we doing this morning?
Good, man. What's up, man?
Man, this NCAA stuff, I don't know. I'm with you, man. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. It's going to get wild.
It's about to get wild.
So I was just trying to think, like, back through history, like, historically, what performances or what players you think would have just got a bag off this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about, like, the name that came to mind for me first was Juwan Jennings. I mean, we're talking in between coaches where he's in his feelings in the back of the car with the cell phone videos. And then he catches that Hail Mary against Georgia. I mean, how many bar mitzvahs, how many birthdays he working? I mean, he would have went wild with that.
Yep. He would have had a great opportunity. He would have hurt himself with the video when he got dismissed. But he would have made it up. Yeah, he would have made it up with, plenty of opportunities that he would have had, for sure. And that's just not in Knoxville. That's all over the state of Tennessee where he's from. So, man, the first person I thought about, Andy, was Josh Dobbs. He was the first person I thought about because you got a squeaky clean image. A quarterback.
A quarterback.
Because think about how Josh Dobbs was basically thrown to the cameras during that whole Title IX stuff, and how well Josh Dobbs represented Tennessee. I'll never forget that. Josh Dobbs was unbelievable. Tennessee owes him $1 million just for NPR fees. Honestly, I'm for real.
Probably more.
I'm for real, man. I thought about Josh Dobbs. He would have been taking a pay cut going to the Steelers.
I mean, I got some friends. That loved Jawan his senior year so much. I got a buddy that bought a fake knockoff Jawan Jennings made in China, thrown together in pieces jersey, just because he wanted a jersey so bad. I mean, they would have went nuts if that dude's out signing autographs for money, or just where they could get him to make an appearance at something or done something with him. I mean, shoot, man,
it's about to be crazy.
Baseball players this year, when that Grand Slam, those Grand Slams left the stadium. Think about that.
Oh yeah, baseball players would have been paid.
Yeah, dude. Not just football, because I mean, other sports can go wild too. When we had Bone and Schofield, Grant Williams, I mean, that would have been wild.
Yeah. But
you've been trying to get all three at your birthday.
Folky now.
Oh yeah.
I just don't know.
First one on campus right now.
He might be the most marketable on.
Yeah.
If I had that many.
Yeah. All right, fellas. So you have a good day. I'm sitting back with my popcorn too, Swano. Take care, buddy.
See you, man. Who was that? Christian Aguilera?
John Fulkerson, Evan Russell. Guys in other sports that can make some cash. And I'll tell you a sneaky one. Folks underestimate the following of Lady Vol basketball.
Oh, for sure.
There may not be a star-studded player right now. I think Ray Burrell is a star in terms of like her basketball ability, but she's not as recognizable as some of the other former Lady Vol players of the past. But if you get another Candace Parker in here,
oh, it's over.
It's over.
It's over. But here's my question I have for you, Ben, and the question I have for our Tennessee fans. This NIL can be beneficial for Tennessee if it's handled right, and I don't know if it is or if it's not. But if it's handled right, this can be beneficial. Here's the immediate issue. The immediate issue is, if I ask you, who are the top 3 marketable players on this football team, who would you name that will be able to take advantage of the NIL the most?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Locally, Cade Mays. I think Cade Mays can make some money locally. Whoever Tennessee's starting quarterback ends up being. Cough, cough, Joe Milton. And Valus Jones.
That's my point.
How about Paxton Brooks?
So that's my point. So
Harrison Bailey in that conversation as well.
Okay.
But somebody's going to pay Harrison Bailey something to do something. That will happen.
Do something to
because
something.
Because he's a quarterback at Tennessee who has a big background in terms of being a former big-time recruit. And he hasn't done anything to kind of mess up that.
It's okay, but you're reaching. It's cool. You're reaching. I think a lot of guys will get paid. I'm not sitting here saying that Harrison won't get paid, but reaching because it's not easy to name a bunch of guys. It's not.
If I was a business right now, I would rather have Evan Russell or John Fulkerson advertising for my business.
Yeah. So that's kind of the immediate issue here is Tennessee would knock this out of the park because of the story that Angie just shared with us. There's so many fans like that. There's so many fans that, like, I used to go hang out with the folks and go to dinners and get little hookups here and there. When I was a player, statute of limitations, it's all good. But like, and I wasn't even like, this is before I became like, I guess like I won't say a baller because I think I've always been a baller, but like when I was like a freshman and sophomore. So I think there's going to be money to be made for a lot of guys. $1,000 here, $2,000 here, a couple $100 here. I mean something that you can use to recruit because this is where I'm going with this. I don't know Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee football has a group of guys right now that will command a lot of money. But who knows? As far as marketability, it's the least amount of attention towards Tennessee football that I ever can remember. I've never experienced what we're experiencing right now in the offseason, where folks don't even want to talk about football. They don't even bring it up, man. It's a sensitive subject for them. They would rather hear you make jokes about their mother than talk about Tennessee football. Some fans are like that. I've never witnessed this before. So you have that you're battling. You also have a lack of star power that you're battling. Lack of guys, guys are you don't have a big group of guys who are super, super marketable. But if you want to get guys, really good players, you're going to have to show these recruits in the near future that Tennessee is different than all the other schools. And then Tennessee stands out as one of the best places you can go. How do you use the NIL as an advantage when currently right now you don't have a lot going on in that direction? So I think it's super important that stores are able to be created to be able to sell. So these players better get some deals, because how are you going to sell that to the next recruiting class? How are you going to sell that to 2023 recruiting class, 2024 recruiting class? When in the first year of the NIL, when everybody's at the start line waiting on the gun to be shot and they're about to take off, are you going to be able to keep up with the pack? Or are you going to get left behind because you won't have a lot of stories to be able to sell?
Look, son, we haven't been able to get anybody any money yet because we haven't had any money to give. We haven't had any players capable of getting some money. So you can come here and you can get all the money.
If you think that sale's going to work, you can try it. But, like, everybody's at the start line and they about to take off. And you know that recruiting graphic that Alabama put out a couple years ago where it showed, like, their starting offensive unit and every player that was lined up in that particular formation, it showed where that player was drafted and what team he played for in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen recruiting graphics where a school will take all the draft picks in a particular year and count up all the guaranteed money and the money that those players got in that draft. And it, add up to $100 million or $250 million. And just this class alone received contracts worth $320 million. What's going to stop the school from saying, our guys this year were so marketable that they profited this amount of money this year? Now, I don't know how the schools can do that, because it would be really their business to get those numbers from the players. But, like, you don't think it's going to be used as a recruiting tool? I mean, it's going to be used as a recruiting tool. And Tennessee just needs to make sure that you ain't too far behind. You better be able to take off and sprint like the rest of these schools, or not get too far behind when the gun goes off here at midnight. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm seeing this thing, man. I'm seeing it. Just like I've been sharing with you guys for the last couple of weeks, what I predicted was going to happen with other schools putting stuff in place for their players, and how they gonna use it and take advantage of loopholes. Let's go to the phones. Let's get to Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's up?
Hey, well, I'm excited to hear your take on this, but I was going to give my little 2 cents for it.
Go for it.
With it, there's so many layers. There's so many layers to this thing that you can't hardly take it all in. First of all, when I look at who's ready for this, I see Alabama at the top, ready to take on this deal. I wonder who's going to be the Jimmy Sextons of this transaction, going to be taking advantage of individuals. I look at, you asked that question, who would be able to, that we have, well, the one that has ability to really profit from this went in the transfer portal, but maturity, he done showed his maturity-wise, he wouldn't have been able to handle this.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Turkey Man?
Well, I'm talking about Sawyers. I was looking, you asked who, and I felt like what could really benefit from that would have been the quarterback. I felt like he had the ability, if he be what we thought he could be, to be able to profit from that. But maturity level, what we've seen and how he acted, was not able to accept it without somebody helping him. And then you got people coming in that going to be your buddies, which would be your enemies. I see a lot of things happening, and like you pointed out, that the interest of Tennessee football, I've never seen it like this right now. I've never, like what you said, I've never seen it even close to what it is. Of course, honestly, everybody's different in what they look at things and all. How you watch a game is different than other people's, and I'm the same way. But I'm a guy that if there's a show coming on I want to watch, I tape it, because I'm not a commercial guy. I just zip, get where I want to see and just go past commercials. So I'm not into the bells and whistles. I'm into the game or the movie, and that's what I come to watch. So I'm interested to see what's going to take place, because there's a lot of layers to this. I think Alabama's set real pretty as far as they've been doing this under the cover, so they're ready to take off with this, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got. I mean, there's a lot of. There's a. You can always sell highly rated recruits. I mean,
I think Turkey Man's spot on. If Caden Salter would have had his act together, he had the potential to make a ton of money. And I think that sets up well for Taven Jackson. Taven Jackson comes in here and does the opposite of Caden Salter. I think Taven Jackson can come in and earn quite a bit of money.
Yeah, because they play quarterback.
Correct.
But you still gotta be good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be good.
But Salter would have earned money early, even without him playing on the field, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on your definition of what's a lot of money and what's not.
Money's money for 17, 18-year-old freshmen. A deal is better than no deal.
Dude, $1,000 you can get as a Pell Grant. So it just depends. So like, I can go take out a Pell Grant and get $2,000. That I don't have to pay back. So it just depends on like what a person considers a lot of money or not. So like, just because you come in, you play quarterback, yeah, you're gonna have probably a better advantage, a better opportunity to earn more money, but you still gotta produce if you're looking to maximize your potential. You know, no one's going to be paying scrubs. We mentioned John Fulkerson, we mentioned Evan Russell. We didn't mention the dude on the end of the bench or the second string or third string dude. So like Salter, if he would have had his act together and, because I think we missed the and part, and beat out the other quarterbacks and been a good player, yes, he would have been able to make some real money. But I think there's a lot of guys that just from tweets alone will be able to make a couple $100, a couple $1,000. But when you're talking about the NCAA that's pocketing billions of dollars a year, and the institution that you're playing for, and the coaches that you're playing for, and they're driving around in luxury cars, and everybody is getting paid, and you just getting $2,000 off of NIL, that ain't nothing to me. Or even $5,000 really ain't nothing if you a starter. So, but yeah, Turkey Man is right. This thing, there's layers, and no one knows where it's gonna go. Not even NCAA. That's the scary part, man. It's like walking in the house in the dark after moving into a house for the first night, and you don't know where the steps are. Like, it's easy to walk through the house when you know where the steps are. You've been in the house for a long time, but like the first night, you don't know where the walls are, where the steps are. And that's kind of how we're looking at this NIL. We're gonna find out here in a couple hours. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. And let me tell you how Ben just made my day. Ben picked up the phone. And Ben told Buck Nasty, we'll get right to you. We got Buck Nasty on the Irish Networks hotline. Where's Buck Nasty's been? Buck, good morning.
Incognito, Swaino.
I see, man. I see. We was worried about you. We thought you got caught up in some mess.
No, I've been busier than a cat covering up crap on concrete here lately, Cat Daddy.
I love it, man.
Man, poor folks got poor ways. What my granddaddy always told me whenever I was headed to work every morning.
I'm glad you're okay, my friend. Thank you for calling.
Do what now?
I said, I'm glad you're okay, man. Thanks for calling this morning.
Shoot, glad to hear from you boys. Glad to call in, chop it up. But I called in this morning because I need a little advice from you boys.
Okay.
The freelance buy a player, it opens up tomorrow, correct?
Pretty much, yep. 12 midnight.
Well, I'm headed to the boot hills of Missouri to get some logs, sides to put on some cabins we're building here. And I got about an extra $15,000 in cash. What's the top-rated player in the state of Missouri?
We'll have to look it up, man.
Actually, there is a player in the state of Missouri that Tennessee would love to have. He is a rising junior, Brett Norfleet, a 4-star.
I don't know if we should go for juniors, Ben. I think we need the instant impact guy.
I agree, but you asked about the state of Missouri, and that's what the state of Missouri has to offer.
It ain't that fertile.
Tennessee, so we can't be too picky with the state of Missouri. But if you want to swing by St. Charles, Missouri, there's a big time tight end who also wants to play baseball for Tony Vitello. Brett Norfleet, 6'7", 220 pounds, big time stud. Brett Norfleet would be a good one to pick up.
They got a corner. Missouri's #1 top player is a corner that's going to Ohio State.
He'd be nice too.
We do need a corner. He's 6'1". His name is Jacalion Johnson. I think I said that right. That looks right. He's from St. Louis. E-I-E-I,
You can find me in St. Louis.
You can swing by there.
What do you think my money'd be better served if I went by and hollered at Ty Simpson over here or close to my hometown here in Martin, Tennessee?
$15,000. That's a chump change.
Well, I mean, we'd have to carpool our money together here.
I mean, you're going to need a couple dudes to make that work. I don't think $15,000 is dropping a bucket for
Buck Nasty. He's committed to Alabama.
Yeah.
You don't think we can get the girls at 126 to change his mind?
Hey, man, he uses $15,000 to wipe his butt. That's nothing if you're going to Alabama.
Well, that's out the picture then. That's out the picture. No, you was talking, Swain, about, being in front of the curve. There are pretty well no rules against all this and doing it. And how are we going to make this a big deal for incoming recruits or recruits that's already there that nobody really would have paid them much to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what the answer is for that, but the fine folks at the head of Department of Tennessee need to be brainstorming and getting it together real quick. I would think if it was me, and you can pay the players anyways now or later, I'd bring back some of the guys like Andy was talking about, like Jawan Jennings, maybe Trey, a few more of the former players that were big deals here at Tennessee, and having a big orange carpet rollout for the local businesses around there at Knoxville and showing them how well they would have got paid had they been able to pay them then, because those cats were worth paying.
That's a great idea.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
Oh, I'm picking it up. That's a really great idea. That's a great idea. And this is a good time to do it.
Well, guys, I won't hold you on here no more. I was just calling to tell you hi. Good to hear from you again. Glad to chop it up. You boys have a good one.
Hey, man, be safe in your travels, my friend. Thank you for calling. Good to hear from you. Let's get to – is that Big Orange Mac? Yo, this might be the best hour ever of the Swain Event, man. Big Orange Mac, good morning.
Good morning, Jay Swizzle. Good morning, Benjamin.
What's up, man? You enjoying this hot-ass weather?
I'm loving it, baby. I'm loving it. I'm thriving. I'm loving it.
Oh, man.
Happy hump day.
I got my long sleeves on today, man. I'm ready for it, too.
I'm loving it. Hotter than a $2 hooker in a mink coat.
Man, it's hot. It's hot.
Look here in the NCAA, you won't notice the jig is up. You've been making billions off of these kids for decades.
Mm-hmm.
I tweeted this last week. Y'all been making billions for decades. The jig is up.
It's up.
These kids, it's been time. Been time, long time. It's time. Hey, man, go out there and get your little bread. And I hope that Buck Nasty said it, Turkey Man said it, y'all said it. I hope our administration has been, getting something in the works for these kids. The income, the kids that, they want to get. And no disrespect to any other student at the University of Tennessee that's not an athlete. Some of these folks, well, what about the regular average student? Look, average Joe Frat don't make $1 million on a Saturday.
Go get a skill set.
He a different skill set, yeah. But we don't come to see Joe Frat on Saturday.
Well,
sorry.
I'm saying go get a skill set, because if you have a skill set and you play the instrument, you sing, you do something that people want to see and support, you can go make $1 for yourself too.
Well, I think, to your point, Big Orange Mac, I think, the common student on campus actually speaks to the fact that student athletes should be able to go make money and profit off of their name, image, and likeness. I've shared my example on the show many times, is that a band member, a member of the Pride of the Southland, can go on down to Market Square on Friday night, open up their instrument case and play their instrument, and people can give them money.
Yep.
Why can a band member do that? No different than a regular student. But a football player, basketball player, a baseball player, whatever player can't go down and have an autograph signing for 30 minutes at Market Square. What's the difference?
Yep.
So I think your point about the regular student actually speaks to even more reason why student athletes should be able to profit off of their name, image, and likeness, because everybody else on campus can.
Absolutely. I agree with that. There's people in academia that, well, they just why, and I have to admit, I used to be one of those. Well, they're getting a free education, but then I start looking at all these young men that's getting in trouble for selling weed, trying to, for a little pocket change. I'm like, man, something's got to change. They out here doing stupid stuff, trying to get a little pocket change to buy something or take the girlfriend out. Something's got to change, and this is the change that's been needed. And I'm excited for these kids, man. I'm not going to hate on them. Can you imagine Tennessee starting offensive line, getting a deal with a local caterpillar dealer standing in front of a bulldozer talking about, hey, we clear the way?
Man, that'd be awesome.
Hey, that would be awesome, man. I'm not mad at them.
I ain't mad at them.
Not mad at them at all. And if anybody's gonna be mad at it, you just hate, man. The times change, man, and it's time. It's been time for this to change. But like y'all brought up earlier, how are we gonna deal with? We're fixing to go. We're still under NCAA investigation, and the rules are fixing to change at midnight tonight. How's that gonna work? I mean, in my opinion, hey, we just laugh at them. Hey, we're going to get paid anyway, so what difference does it make? What y'all going to do now, toothless tiger?
The thing that's crazy, Mac, is like the only rule that I've actually seen is the school can't assist with any deals. But other than that, there's not really any. And the rules will be created after the big wave. They don't even know what to regulate or what rules to set in place because, they got the Supreme Court on their butts. And so there's going to be this free fall, and then the rules are going to come later. like that's the thing that's crazy. There's gonna be so many schools who are gonna, go wild and crazy, probably go over the line, even though there's not a line to begin with.
It's gonna be some line steppers.
Habitual.
It's gonna be some line steppers.
Habitual line steppers, man. Habitual, like Charlie Murphy said in Chappelle. Habitual line steppers. There's gonna be plenty of that, Big Orange Mac. So, but then then they could just be told to rein it in. It's easy to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission sometimes. So they'll probably go crazy and then have to rein it in a little bit later. But when you go out here and you put together a class or you bring in some players that can bring you a championship, does it really matter? No, it won't really matter. So this thing's about to get interesting for sure. And you mentioned another thing, Big Orange Matt, that stood out. You said it twice. Haters. There's gonna be some haters because
absolutely.
Think about you and me, and throw in Ben. We out here working a real job. We went to school. We didn't claw. We didn't scratch. Some of us have debt with student loans. And then you look at your paycheck, and then you turn around, and you see this student athlete who's 17, 18, 19 years old, and he's making as much money as you in 30 minutes, and it's taking you a week to make that money. There's going to be some people jealous, and there's going to be some people hating on that.
Absolutely. You know what? It is what it is.
It is, man. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Some of us have to get out there and get after it and bust our what. And then, some cats, man, they just got it like it. It is what it is. Ain't no need in hate. Hating ain't going to get you nowhere.
Yeah.
Get the hate out your heart.
Let it out.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Gentlemen, I'm going to get off here. Y'all have a good one and go Big Orange.
See
Happy
ya.
hump day.
See ya. Big Orange 123 says, make it a beer sponsor for butt chugging. Hey, if anybody on our football team engages in butt chugging, they should be dismissed. No questions asked. No indefinite suspension. Let's gather the facts. No. Dismissed. You can have a second chance at getting busted for weed, but if you get busted for butt chugging, that is a strike one. You're out of here. Offense, Ben. Can't be embarrassing university. Can't be embarrassing all of us. That embarrasses every alumni in the world. Who that person was that engaged in that frat, you embarrass all of us. All of us. All right, who's next?
Vol in Birmingham.
Vol in Birmingham, good morning.
Hey, guys, good morning. How are y'all?
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Just thinking about all this going on, and I'm actually pretty excited for the University of Tennessee. I think we're going to do well in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should. I don't know what we're gonna do, Vol Birmingham. I really don't. I hope. I know that they've been out ahead of this, and they've been discussing it. I don't know how we're gonna do. I know we have the potential though.
Yeah, I mean, because we have such a massive alumni base that there's so many businesses across the state of Tennessee that these kids are going to get opportunities with, and so I think it gives us an advantage against teams like Florida. I mean, Florida is a big name and everything, but in the state of Florida, they're going to be fighting with FSU. So I mean, they have a section of Florida. They can't go down into Miami to get businesses to market them and stuff like that. And so something that you said about so the university can't help with these kids getting I guess actual offers. So the old NCAA, we had a bag man, so now we got to have a hookup man.
Yep, pretty much. That's what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a hookup man that's going to hook all these kids up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we talk about the star athletes getting the offers, and then the guys that I guess sit on the end of the bench. What are they going to get? I think what you're going to see is a lot of the big businesses doing where they have the whole offensive line come down and sign autographs, the whole QB room come down and sign autographs. So they're taking care of everybody from the top to the bottom, And that helps you with the recruiting in the end, because then you're going to have not only the star athlete saying, hey, you need to come to this school, you're going to have the guy on the end of the bench saying, hey, you need to come to this school because even me, who I've never started one game, is getting a little bit of change here on the side.
Exactly.
I mean, so it's going to be – and I think that that's what you're going to see happen. But I guess one of my questions, and I put this on the text box, is this going to be like a thing where they can only get offers out of season, or they can only – there's like a deadline for things? Because if not, during the season, you're going to have overnight superstars, you know, getting deals left and right off of a catch here or a throw there or a tackle here, a big play. Just think about, I just think about Jennings when, he overnight, he was just fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's during season, I think that, you're going to see from week to week where kids are just getting deals here and there. But, there's a whole lot going on, and nobody really knows how it's going to go down. But, I think we're going to do well in it just because of how large the university can be spread out across the state.
Good points there, Vol and Birmingham. No, nothing has been covered as far as, in season, out of season. And I'm just going to tell you right now, you have a big game against a big-time opponent during season, there's distractions. It's so easy to be distracted as a student athlete. Even with your schedule being pretty much made for you, you go out and make some plays and have a big game, you got some different people in your face. You got some different type of people in your face, Ben, if you get what I'm putting down.
You have females in your face.
You got some different distractions in your face, and that's without the money. That's without the money. So now coaches, and I think this is why Coach K and Roy Williams was like, and I think Rick Barnes, I don't know how long Rick Barnes is going to deal with this either, to be honest, because this is another distraction.
I would much rather coach professionally than in college if I had the option.
In season, you should be watching film on your own, but you're over here striking up deals, which how can you blame a young man? Because this is money. But it's going to be harder to hold the attention of your team. It's going to be harder. Ain't no doubt about it. It's going to be harder. But I like Vol and Birmingham's idea of let's bring in some units. Let's bring in the offensive line. Let's bring in defensive line. Let's bring in the quarterbacks. Let's bring in the running backs. Let's make sure as many people as possible are able to eat. Remember how we've been saying, Ben, that we're not going to be able to sit back and say, all right, administration, all right, coaches, go fix everything, go win for us, and us not be able to us not help and be a part of the solution? I've been saying that it's going to take all of us, fans, alumni, former players, current administration, current players. It's going to take all of us to get to where we want to be, because to fully maximize what the NIL can be, it's going to take businesses who have Tennessee, in high regard, and it's going to take fans to go to those businesses, spend their money to make the money that's spent on the athletes worth it, to make them want to do it again. So it's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us to get this thing right. And I think for the NIL to be what it could be versus our opponents, it's going to take all of us. So I don't think we're going to be able to sit on our butts and say, all right, Danny White and Plowman and Hype will go do it. No, it's going to take all of us. Hour 2 coming up.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup, Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the happy face truck today.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown turnover back by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong, better rates and better service. ATFCU.com. Ben McKee, Jason Swain here. It is, what time is it, Ben?
8:06.
Dang it. My computer did something crazy again. It says 8:06 at the studio clock, but on my laptop it says 8:08. And I changed it, man. anyways, it's 8:06 on a beautiful Wednesday. A little cloudy and a little foggy in Knoxville this morning, but a cloudy day in Knoxville is better than a sunny day in some other SEC towns.
And look, you all can complain and send your tweets about the hot weather all you want. This hot weather 1,000% beats December, January weather.
No one's arguing that.
Okay. Well, I just want y'all to remember that when you're sending your tweets about how hot it is. I'd rather deal with this than December, January weather.
I mean, I'm not crying when it's cold. I'm a natural hot body, so like, I can wear shorts in the wintertime. But because I'm a natural hot body, 94 feels like 114. Like yesterday, I went outside to put something in the garage into the car. And Ben, I walked back in. I don't know if you noticed, but I was sweating. Like I was sweating.
I noticed.
I was like, so now I'm in it now. I'm outside, I'm in it. I went through like 3 shirts yesterday. Ooh. So I'm a sweater, man. I've been like that. So that's why for me, it's a little annoying, but absolutely I would take this weather over 10-degree weather.
Just making sure.
But I'm telling you, man, my dog, you want to go play? You want to go play? He looked at me like, no. No, I'm good. I don't want to play. Ask me after 7. Like, when dogs don't want to play outside, that means it's really hot.
Yes.
All right, touchdown turnover, Tennessee. Brings in an offensive commitment. In the next week. Do you think there will be an offensive commitment in the next week, Ben? Touchdown turnover.
I say touchdown. And even going back to your touchdown or turnover, I believe on Monday, about whether Tennessee would have a commitment by the end of the month.
I didn't even notice that shirt, man. It's a fresh shirt, Ben.
Thanks. Shout out to Alumni Hall. Hooking me up with the Tennessee College World Series shirt.
I like it, man. Good to see you wearing orange again.
The GOAT.
Good to see you wearing orange again, man.
Thanks.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I've always been wearing orange. Your touchdown or turnover on Monday was, would Tennessee get a commitment by the end of the month, which is today is the final day of the month?
Yeah, I just had to spread it out a little bit, add a little sprinkle with the offensive player.
I'll change my turnover to a touchdown from the one earlier in the week. We'll leave it at that.
Dang, a little Austin Price. I'm picking up what you're throwing down on that one.
And I do think you said by the end of the week?
No.
Offensive guy?
No. I said in a week.
In a week. I think Tennessee picks up a commitment on offense within the next week. Same guys that Austin Price mentioned yesterday on the show, a guy like Messiah Reddick, offensive lineman from Michigan. I think he's ready to do something, and Tennessee feels like the leader there. So I think he's an option. You've got Marquarius Squirrel White. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Marquarius Squirrel White. He's from Clay Chalkville down in Alabama. What's that? The Birmingham area, right?
He go to Clay Chalkville?
That's what I think. I told you that before the show. You probably weren't listening to me. That's Birmingham area, right?
It's Birmingham area. I was getting the show prepared, man.
Clay Chalkville. He's a receiver from Clay Chalkville.
Oh, yeah. I played against Clay Chalkville twice in the playoffs.
Beat him?
1-for-1.
1-for-1. They typically have a good football team.
They used to be the power before Hoover became power. Clay Chalkville, man, they operate kind of like Maryville. Like they start the youth level. They run the same system. They serious about their football, but Clay Chalkville is a traditional power.
Yes.
In the last 50 years in Alabama. So usually players don't make it out and come all the way up to Tennessee, to be honest. But yeah, I played against Clay Trotwood twice in the playoffs. Broke their hearts one year. Another year, they handle us pretty good.
But
Squirrel.
White, he took an OV to Tennessee over the weekend, and I think he really enjoyed his time. I think he's a candidate. We'll see if he decides to make a move.
Man, we can hook him up with some wildlife companies around here.
Yes.
You got a squirrel problem?
Although the state of Alabama could as well. And if you scroll down his Twitter account, he posted probably, I'm assuming, some 100-meter times.
Ooh, the boy fast.
Ran a 10.69.
We'll take that.
Yes, absolutely. So, I think Tennessee picks up an offensive commitment within the next month, and he did pick up an offer from Alabama
next
on April
month?
8th, or within the next week. Sorry.
All right. So before
offensive player
Wednesday,
within the next week.
Before Wednesday of next week,
I think Tennessee will have an offensive commitment. Pick up an offensive commitment.
Good, because I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been looking at South Carolina and kind of jealous lately.
Yeah, they picked up Ryan Brubaker, offensive lineman from up north that Tennessee really liked, and that one surprised me because his dad went to Penn State. It had been Penn State, and then out of the blue he commits to South Carolina. That was a little interesting. So,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm a little jealous right now. I mean, they go out and get Prunty, the corner transfer from Kansas. I think they've gotten like 3 or 4 commitments in the last couple days.
Picked up a commitment earlier this cycle from Anton Davis's son.
Yeah, Braden.
4-star quarterback Braden Davis.
Yeah, he was down this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and now they're trying to pick up this big tight end Oscar Delp, a 4-star from North Georgia that Tennessee tried to get in with early on. He has some ties to Knoxville. I think his mom used to live here, and his dad owned a downtown brewery. But I don't know if Tennessee decided not to pursue that or what happened there. But South Carolina's now trying to get him.
I mean, that's who we competing with. You know, we're competing against everyone in the SEC. We're competing against every school in the country. But think about the previous coach. Think about when he came in and he was out here trying to recruit guys that Alabama wanted, that Georgia wanted, that LSU wanted. And I'm not saying you don't need to recruit those guys, but you have to be very, very aware of the amount of energy and time you put into those players, because if you're going to put all your eggs in that player's basket only for him to pick Georgia at the end and pick Alabama at the end, and you came in second place, but you have alienated all the other players that you could have gotten that were really good players because you didn't give them any time, what good does it get you? Now you don't have any of them. So if you're Josh Heupel right now, if you are the recruiting staff of Tennessee, you got to learn from Jeremy Pruitt's mistakes and understand that there's levels to this. You need to be out recruiting South Carolina, Missouri, and Kentucky and those guys, and then develop them to the point where some of the other good players you have a better chance with because you can prove the on-field success. Now you can maybe start beating some of those other schools out for those top players. But for any fan to be thinking that Tennessee should be going toe-to-toe with Alabama and Georgia right now, you're lying to yourself.
Unrealistic. And not just Alabama and Georgia, even Ohio State.
You're lying, yeah.
A lot of people upset with Tennessee and Down Hayden head to Ohio State. But I mean,
what could Tennessee do with that one? What Tennessee could have done to get Dallin Hayden? Honestly, in this position that they're in,
be better at football.
Like
that's the only thing that they could have done.
I mean, you do your best with what you have, and if you get them, great. If you don't, you understand why, but you just can't let it happen next year, the year after that. You got to work to prevent that from happening as much in the future. But there's no reason to be mad at Tennessee for Dallin Hayden going to Ohio State. Like, sometimes the anger doesn't have to be directed at somebody or something.
Well, and then
you can just be angry, but that doesn't mean that's Tennessee's fault that they get down. Like, hey, what are you gonna do? Like hold him down and capture him and make him play for you?
Well, and then like what we talked about Monday and Tuesday, the Taylor Groves situation, the athlete receiver that committed to Ole Miss, I believe on Sunday. Everybody blaming Tennessee for not recruiting well when they didn't get Taylor Groves, not because they didn't recruit him well. They didn't get him because they evaluated him, didn't think that he fit with what they're looking for, and so he went to Ole Miss. There's a difference. If Taylor Groves goes to Ole Miss and has a heck of a career, then it's going to be a poor evaluation on Tennessee's part, not a poor recruiting effort. Because to me, yes, they're intertwined and they coincide with one another, but how you recruit somebody is a different topic than how you evaluate somebody. I mean, you think I'm onto something there, Swain?
Yeah.
Like to me, it's two different things. How you evaluate somebody is different than actually recruiting them.
Yeah.
And you know, Josh Heupel and Tennessee's
100%.
offensive staff may prove to be wrong on Taylor Groves, but there's other receivers that they like more than him. And so they did not pursue him. And again, that may come back to bite them at a later date. But my point is they didn't get Taylor Groves because they don't know how to recruit. They didn't pursue him. There's a difference. They are pursuing Cam Miller, the 4-star receiver out of Memphis. They are pursuing the 4-star receiver Isaiah Horton out of Oakland and Murfreesboro. If they miss on those guys, then that's when you kind of start to raise an eyebrow and wonder what was happening there. But here's something to consider. Tennessee's in a really great spot for both of them, especially Cam Miller. And they are being pursued by better schools than Taylor Groves is being pursued by. So that I would just caution the freak out over some situations, particularly that one.
Yeah. Case in point, stop putting so much stock in recruiting services. That's what that is, Ben. And I know you work for a recruiting website, but still, people have these expectations because they put too much stock in them. Because where are you getting these expectations from? You ain't getting from the coaches because the coaches ain't talking about recruits. You're getting your expectations from these recruiting sites. And they're human. They can't account for a kid's lack of motivation. They can't account for a kid who stops developing. They can't account for a kid getting hurt. They can't account for a young man who maybe hasn't developed at a certain point, but develops when he gets to school because he has a frame to put on weight and not lose speed. And, you know, he could be a Darrell Taylor type or he could be Emmanuel Mosley type. So people put too much stock on these recruiting services and it pumps up their expectations. And when they see a player with a certain star next to their name or a number next to their name, they see them go to another school, that doesn't always mean that Tennessee wanted them. But it doesn't mean that, you know, sometimes Tennessee did want that player. He just didn't want to go. But it's not the same case every single time. You know, when you're talking about the difference between recruiting and evaluation or the correlation, I start thinking about Texas and all the times that the Texas Longhorns told a quarterback, yeah, we want you to play safety. We want you to play receiver. We want you to play this position. From RG3 to Johnny Manziel. I mean, think about all the Texas quarterbacks that have left that state or not be recruited by Texas to go on to other schools and be great at quarterback, winning freaking Heismans. So you better evaluate properly. You better evaluate. You better believe in what you see. And when they get there, you better, you know, coach them up. You better develop them. That's the name of the game. And you can't count on the recruiting service to do that work for you. You have to do it.
Wide receiver is just not a position I'm concerned about right now. Tennessee is in a good spot with several good receivers. I mentioned Isaiah Horton. I mentioned Cam Miller. And I should have added Caden Pope. Austin corrected me on that yesterday as well. My first thought of in-state receivers go to Cam Miller and Isaiah Horton. But Caden Pope, the cousin of Latrell Bumpus there at Hardin County in Savannah, Tennessee, he's very talented as well. And Tennessee is in a good position there. So if you're able to go out and get a Caden Pope, a Cam Miller, and Isaiah Horton, you're bringing those three guys all in the same class, while you're also positioned well with a Shalik Knotts, a 4-star out of North Carolina, top 100 player. Tennessee looks like it's in his top 3 with Maryland and North Carolina. Like you're doing well at the receiver position. Receiver position is not the position that I am concerned about with this staff. It's more of the trenches that I am concerned with, particularly on the defensive side, because offensively, they've got one commit, the Brian Grant kid from Florida. It looks like they're in a good spot with Masai Reddick, the offensive lineman we spoke a minute ago about from Michigan. But then they're in a really good spot with Addison Nichols, and even with losing out on Ryan Brubaker to South Carolina yesterday, they've still got Addison Nichols on the board. They still got Mo Clipper on the board, and those are two guys that the staff is very high on. And if you're able to bring in those two in the same class along with some developmental guys, you're going to be doing good at that spot. So this is also kind of going back to conversation earlier in the week about Taylor Groves and everybody freaking out because they saw, I think, 4-star on one of the sites. I can't remember exactly, but they saw 4-star, saw Ole Miss pursuing and Lane Kiffin, saw Michigan pursuing, saw that he was kind of ranked in the top 10 of the state of Tennessee. Like, I get it, but only time will tell whether Tennessee was right or wrong for not pursuing that kid. But it wasn't a recruitment issue. Yeah. They didn't recruit him and swing and miss. They evaluated him, decided not to pursue him, and we'll see if that decision was correct or not here in a couple of years.
Yep. Let's go back to the phones.
We've got Jay.
Jay, good morning.
Well, Swain,
Jay,
is South Carolina drinking our milkshake and recruiting or what? What's going on?
No, they're having a good stretch right now, man. They got some momentum. Yeah, they got some momentum.
You know, they got some really nice facilities. So over there, I don't think maybe some people might realize that, but Spurrier did a lot to enhance and get their facilities improved.
They have that, and they also have a couple coaches that I'm familiar with that I know are down to earth, and the players are going to gravitate towards, and that is Greg Atkins, coaching offensive line, and that is Monterio Hardesty. So I know what type of dudes they are, and if you sit in the room with them as a recruit, you're going to like them. So they have that going for them right now too. And then a new flavor in town, just like, you know, kind of like Tennessee is. So they have some momentum right now. They having a good stretch. I think Tennessee is going to have a nice stretch here in a couple of days as well. So, you know, stay tuned.
Interesting. Man, I was listening to the VolQuest podcast, Ben's now new employer, and Brent and Austin were talking about this new name, image, and likeness stuff, and just all the different questions about what's going to happen. And, you know, when July 1st comes, Wayne, I think it's going to be just chaos in a lot of ways. I mean, it's just, I think we've opened Pandora's box, and I think it's going to get real interesting. And I was thinking about it, you know, when I was 18, 19 years old, if I had the ability to make $50,000, much less, I mean, you saw David Oven talk about Garantano can make $130,000 off social media, but some of these figures I'm seeing and some of the numbers I'm seeing some of these kids are going to be able to make, if you gave that to me when I was 18, 19 years old, the last thing on my mind would be I need to do well in Mrs. Smith's biology class, or I need to go get this homework done, or I need to work on football. I mean, that's going to be the last thing on my mind if you hand me that kind of money.
Yeah, extra reps. I mean, the extra stuff that you do, not the mandatory stuff, but I mean, because the mandatory stuff you have to do, because if you're off the team, you're not really marketable. So you're gonna do the bare minimum. But the extra stuff, the after practice work or the before practice work, the after workouts work, the extra stuff that you're doing because you want to put yourself in a position to get more money in the NFL, are they going to be doing that the same? I don't know.
I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. And my dad, me and my dad have had discussions about this, and one thing he brings up, and I don't know if it's a fair point or not, but he says, what about the offensive lineman? What about the center that, is doing all the dirty work, but nobody really wants to, do anything with him while the quarterback's out here making $300,000-$400,000, or the wide receiver? What kind of team dynamic does that create when there's going to be players that just don't have the same earning potential, and it's and that happens at the pros, but they're still millionaires. But in college, I mean, it could be like, well, we don't really care about the right guard. He can just, he's not making any money while the quarterback's making $300,000-$400,000.
You know what's going to change the dynamic?
Do you see that being an issue?
You know what's going to change the dynamic? Not so much that the players are being treated differently, because players have been getting treated differently. I mean, when I was playing and Adidas wanted to drop some cool prototypical shoes, a model that looked a little bit different, that was cooler, guess who got those shoes? It's quarterback. They got those shoes. And so we're used to special treatment. Like, we were used to that. What's going to change the dynamic is when that player changes, because he allowed the money to get him the big head. Like, I've witnessed guys changing because they had a little bit of success, or because they came in as a 5-star and they rubbed dudes wrong because of how they, acted, how they came across. That's what I worry about. Is the money going to change these guys to the point where, these players are going to, look at them a certain type of way? And we're dealing with 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds. We got grown men who change when they get a little bit of money and a little bit of power. Think about these youngins when they get some money. So that's what I'm more concerned about, not the jealousy that, this player got more than me. But if you start changing, you start acting like, you bigger than your teammates, and they don't matter, and it's all about you, that could be a problem.
Well, and on top of that, I also worry about the fire and desire to get better. We talked about it last week. Ben Simmons hadn't changed his shot in how many years? He hasn't changed his shot since he got into the league. And that's because he's gotten a bag.
He's a pro.
It is broke, but I firmly believe that if he wasn't 6 years in and had not gotten a big bag yet, he at least would have improved. He's never going to be a good shooter, but to nearly be unplayable because of how bad of a shooter he is, and to finally say that I'm not even going to play in the Olympics so I can go fix my shot, 6 years in, I think it's a product of him getting a big bag early on. Had he not gotten that big bag, there would have been a desire to change his shot earlier. So I worry about, on top of what you just said, Swain, guys not necessarily being as urgent to get in the gym because they already have money.
Well, it's going to be interesting, and not all, but a lot of 18-year-old males full of testosterone, and they're highly immature. And they have a lot of you do a lot of growing between that 18 to 22-year-old period, hopefully. And I think it's going to be interesting to see and see some of these kids who, quite frankly, come from nothing. They come from Dade County in Miami, and they got nothing. They live in an awful neighborhood, but their football talent gets them to University of Alabama, and now all of a sudden they got $300,000 or $400,000 in their bank account. I mean, it's going to be that. I mean, just they went from nothing to, in the top 2 percentile of America in terms of income. I mean, so it's going to be a wild dynamic to see, and because I do think some of these big time. I think you're going to start seeing that, and another thing I think is going to be interesting is the shoe deals. I think guys are going to get shoe deals coming out of high school, and if do you get an Adidas deal, and how is that dynamic going to work with going to a Nike school? Because I'm telling you, man, they are religious about that stuff.
Basketball,
at these universities.
Yeah, basketball. I mean, they went through a whole FBI deal with the shoe with the shoe deal. So yeah, that's gonna play a huge part in basketball for sure.
Yeah, I mean Kennedy Chandler, a guy like Kennedy Chandler. You mean to tell me Adidas ain't gonna want to sign him, offer him some money to do a shoe deal?
Yeah, that's when the waters get muddy because he can't wear Adidas.
Right.
He can't wear Adidas. Tennessee's a Nike school.
And Kennedy Chandler's going to be if everything goes according to plan, he's going to be a top 10 pick in next year's NBA draft, which means that Adidas, Nike,
New Balance, Puma,
yes,
Under
all those
Armour.
shoe companies are going to want to sign him coming out of Tennessee after his freshman year anyway. So maybe Kennedy loves Nike and wants to sign with Nike long term. Well, he can go ahead and get started on that contract while he's at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's happening. All right, you can go ahead and bank that kind of stuff. These high school all-star kids, they're getting shoe deals for sure. Oh yeah, it's going to be wild, man. It's going to be fun to watch. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to kill college athletics or what, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Get your popcorn ready. It may kill college athletics, but this day was coming, and we know that it needs to happen. Now, we may not like where college athletics go, but we knew this day was coming. And if you want to point the finger and blame someone, don't blame the kids. 'Cause I know how some folks always want to blame something or someone when they don't get their way. But if you want to blame somebody, blame the coaches and administrators over the years that have allowed greed to prevent these players from having a seat at the table. Contracts have gone up. Coaching salaries have gone up. Facilities, hundreds of millions of dollars put into the facilities. But who's bringing in that money? It's athletes. And they can't even make money off their own name. And this has been going on for decades and decades and decades. It's been brewing. And so everybody else's money has went up. If you want to blame someone, you can blame the greed of those individuals. But we are here, and we knew we would be here, just didn't know when. Let's get to Volstorm. Volstorm, good morning.
Swain, I totally agree with you. The coaches' salaries going up so exponentially definitely ushered the way for this.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, for crying out loud, back when King Johnny was the head coach and he was making $100,000 a year, people were like, "Oh my gosh, these coaches' salaries are outrageous."
Golly, man! I remember when Coach Swain was getting $2 million, and that wasn't a lot.
Yeah,
his last contract. We're talking 2008 when he was let go. It's like $2 million.
And now Tony Vitello's on the verge of making like 1.5.
Yeah,
right.
There's not a coach in the SEC making $2 million. I don't think in football.
Yeah. I would imagine there's nobody below 3.
Yeah.
The coach of the third-tier program is about to make almost as much as Fulmer did.
I wonder how much Clark Lee at Vanderbilt. That'd be hard to find out because private school. Let's see. Eli Drinkwitz salary
he's more than 2. It's 3.
4.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's making as much as Heupel.
Mm-hmm. I think he makes more than Heupel because I think Heupel's like 3 point something. I may be wrong on that.
Guys, I think some of these kids are going to be in for a rude awakening, especially on this campus. I've already seen all the posts on social media, Twitter especially, where they're talking about the law and saying that, hey, my DMs are open. This is a business, guys. You got to do something on the field in order to get that money.
Yep.
I mean, if you're a business, what Tennessee football player are you paying to be at the front of your advertisement?
A significant amount to where it has an impact.
Correct.
Because you got to spend some bread.
Yes.
And who's worth that? Who's worth spending that money with you feeling like you're going to get a good, decent, return of investment?
I don't know that there is one.
I don't know, man.
Which is why I said earlier, if I'm a business, hello John Fulkerson, hello Evan Russell.
But
exactly.
Yeah, but we know that we have to have some success stories to be able to sell to the next group.
Well, and
you better start creating some.
Yes, and here's the other thing: how many football players right now could be on a commercial, and the fan that watches just on Saturdays, really only watches games, would know who he is?
Cade Mays.
I think that's about the only one. Maybe a quarterback.
Yeah, but which quarterback are you going to pick?
Yeah, you got a quarterback competition, so you don't know. And even let's say that Joe Milton wins, no one's don't know who he is because he just got here. He hasn't even talked yet. So if I'm a player, I want every available media spot. You know how, like, in the past, you may get this player one week, you may get another player another week, you may get another player a different week. No, man, I want every week. Put me on every week. If I'm a player, I want to talk because I want to brand myself. I want to sell myself. So that's something to think about as well, too. Because you're going to have players can't wait to do media. Can't wait to talk to Ben McKee. Can't wait to take questions.
I don't blame him anyways for wanting to talk to me.
And, boy, talk about incentive to keep your name out the papers.
Yes, which was Turkey Man's point early when he called in during hour one, and he called back in and he mentioned Johnny Manziel, and Johnny Manziel would have made a bunch of money during his time at A&M. But on the flip side,
he did make a bunch of money.
Yes, but legally,
he did make a bunch of
but
money.
in the current framework, how many? To Turkey Man's point, and to what Volstrom just said about keeping your name out of the paper, how much money in this current framework would Johnny Manziel have missed out on because of his behavior at times?
I think he got in trouble because of the month, because of signing autographs. So that would cancel each other out. I think he had like a bar incident.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would have affected him. But
well, then we can use Jawan Jennings as an example. Jawan would have legally made a ton of money under this framework, but how much money would Jawan had lost after his Instagram tirade? Fair, right or wrong, how much would he have lost because a business did not want that representing them?
Well, would that have regulated him from posting something like that if he had
I would hope so.
money to worry about?
Yeah. I would hope so.
Yeah, he would have lost money.
He would have lost money off of that. And regardless of what your opinion is on the incident that he had on the sideline against Vanderbilt, how much money would that have cost him?
Yep. So
it's something they're going to have to think about. It's like it's no longer hey, you need to be sure and keep your grades up. Hey, you need to be sure and have keep yourself out of trouble off the field. Now it's if you don't do these things, you're going to lose your endorsement money.
Yep.
It's a business now.
Exactly. You might have guys, getting in trouble less. I mean, you think about it that way.
Yeah. Should at least.
It should.
There should be an incentive to go to class and stay out of trouble. Well, I don't know about going to class. I got how much in my bank account today?
I'm making more than a teacher. I ain't going to class.
I will pay you. Never mind.
That's like some of the attitudes that the NFL players have toward the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? I make more money than you do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
guys, before I go, I was wondering if you could confirm or deny a rumor for me that Books Million on West End is going to start sponsoring Ben's Bad Takes. See you, boys!
All right, who's next?
D.R. Vol.
D.R. Vol, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Hard to follow that up, isn't it?
It is, man. But I think you can do a pretty good job, man. You've been on a good roll lately.
Well, I will give some advice. You're talking about finding somebody to blame. Usually at the end of the day, you can blame man's worst creation. That's a politician. So even if they had nothing to do with it, just blame it on them if you're going to get mad about players getting paid. How about that?
That's pretty easy to do.
Yeah. They've screwed up everything else, so let's just be mad at them. I have a few questions, actually, and take us on the fourth wall, Swain. How's this going to affect, like, people like you that has to sell advertising? I mean, I doubt you're going to be intimidating going in by a J.J. Peterson or something like that, but, I mean, is it going to change that dynamic?
I thought about that yesterday, honestly. I was thinking about ways that it's going to affect me positively and ways that it's going to affect me negatively. I'm still getting my, head around this thing and trying to wrap my arms around it. And so I don't know. It would be cool to work with some of the guys, to be honest. My first reaction was, how can I help? How can I help these guys? Not necessarily being threatened or thinking about hurting me. I was thinking about how can I help these guys, because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be family, right? He's supposed to be little bros. When you have players come in, the older players are supposed to offer that support. I've tried to do that during my time here in Knoxville, being close to the program, and so that was my first thought. But I don't know, D'Arval.
I kind of wondered that too, and if you look at it in a positive spin, it may help you, like above some others, because you actually did play. So I don't know.
I don't know.
It's going to be strange the way it's going to go. I know that. I did find it funny. I'm not going to come off on him because I know him, but that we have one player that's in the transfer portal letting people know his DMs are open.
Dude, I saw that, and I must have copied and pasted that tweet to like 3 or 4 of my friends. It was like, really? This is what we doing?
I thought I was special.
Yeah, you weren't the only one. And consider yourself lucky that you're one of those 3 or 4 that I sent to.
That's true.
But, like, I was like, are you serious? We got dudes who are in the transfer portal who out here worrying about some deals. Dude, know what school you going to play for first. Is what I was thinking. But I didn't say nothing publicly when I first saw it. And I ain't going to say his name, but goodness gracious. Priorities, man.
Yeah, I'm going to bite my tongue. Normally I like to say stuff about that, but I did work with his mama and daddy, so I'm going to shut up on that. Speaking of the transfer portal, when's the latest that they can hop back out? Like, do they got a deadline, or is it, if you're not at a school by July 15th, then you're just done college football?
They can pick a school whenever they want, but the SEC did implement a day. I don't think it goes into effect until this upcoming cycle, like next year before spring practice is when I believe it'll go into effect, because they passed it well after the date that it is going to be.
NCAA set a July 1st deadline for fall and winter athletes to notify their schools of their intention to transfer.
But the SEC came back and
did
said
too.
The SEC was like, before spring.
Athletes must meet this deadline in order to maintain eligibility. So NCAA is July 1st deadline for fall and winter athletes to notify their school. And as far as SEC, I had to pull it up and share that with you too. Let's see here. SEC did pass a rule not too long ago allowing guys to and ladies to transfer in a conference. SEC rules is they must declare their intent to transfer by February 1st in order to create time windows that are more consistent across fall, winter, and spring sports. This is what Sankey was said. So SEC, it is February the 1st for fall sports, May the 1st for winter sports, and July 1st for spring sports.
I don't know. maybe they can get their deals done so they can sponsor Vitamin Shop and then they pick the team out. I don't know.
Hey, man, whatever it takes.
My last question is, I wonder, you were talking about Juwan Jennings, that year he had that video and stuff like that. I wonder if some of these kids are going to get, like, incentive-based deals. And then the reason I asked that is because, I posted a picture about a 4th and 1 on Twitter yesterday, and I wonder if it's going to be like a week-to-week thing because, after JG pulled that, say if, I don't know, Dead End would sponsor him that week and as many people were pissed off at him at that game.
You mean the Alabama game?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You know how like a lot of contracts in professional sports are incentive-based? I wonder if they're going to get deals like that.
Well, I question that's quite possible and a good point by you, but I also kind of question. Correct me if I'm way off here, Swaino, but if you're wanting Jarrett Garantano to be the face of your advertising for your business over Juwan Jennings, then I think you deserve what's coming.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
you sent Swain into a frenzy by
the
bringing up the Alabama game.
say that again.
Swain is throwing a tantrum because of you.
But you get what I'm saying though, like, and not even JG. It could be like Harrison Bailey, like, say he's done decent, and then he for 5 games, and then he just goes out and throws, 2 straight pick sixes against Kentucky. Let's use something that's never happened before.
Or if you hit your head on the goalpost and throw it up.
What's that?
Or if you hit your head on the goalpost and just throw the ball up in the air.
I'm telling you that that's going to go down as one of the most surreal moments of my life. I said that yesterday. I couldn't believe I couldn't believe it happened when I saw it, and I still don't believe it happened. What was that, 2 years ago that crap happened?
What, the hitting the head on the goalpost?
Yeah.
No, that was like 2005.
Oh, I thought you were talking about JG.
JG never hit his head on the goalpost.
Well, yeah, he never hit a lot, so that's probably true.
I'm done with you. Get off this phone.
Y'all have a good day.
We've got Jim next, Swain. Swain, wake up.
I just had flashbacks, man. Dierval, don't bring up the Alabama play again. Like, I just had flashbacks, man. Oh my gosh. I got this fire in my belly, man. It ain't gas. Like I'm upset thinking about that play. Woosah. 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 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? That damn Alabama plays was bothering me. I gotta let it go. Let it go. All right, who's next?
Jim.
Jim, good morning.
Good morning. Hi. Going to the extreme on this NIL thing, if some of the smaller schools get priced out of the market and they either have to drop sports or their product on the field becomes lousy, would we look back and say that even though this is probably the law and it's right, it wasn't a good thing to do?
How would the small schools get priced out?
Well, a kid that is considering 2 schools, one school's gonna market the NIL better. And he's gonna go there with dollar signs in his eyes.
If he's good enough to play at a big school, chances are he's going to have other big schools offering him, and so I think those big schools would be more competing with each other rather than the big school versus the little school, unless, and we've done this before here in Tennessee, especially under the last couple of coaches, where Tennessee was like the kid's best offer, and in that case, yeah, I'm with you on that case, Jim. You know, if a kid has like, Lehigh and Richmond and Norfolk State and the Wichita State is their list, and then boom, there's a Tennessee offer. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you 100% there. I don't see how the smaller schools will be priced out when it comes to NLI. And maybe I'm just NIL. Maybe I'm just missing it, which is why I'm just asking. I think those smaller schools, those players that are on that current team, Jim, I think they just have less earning potential than the players who are at bigger programs, that have a bigger fan base, and a bigger imprint on that town and the businesses in that town. That's how I look at it.
Okay. Now, change subjects. On a lighter note, what do you think was more exciting, the Hail Mary to Juwan or the Grand Slam? And I'll hang up and listen.
Oh, man.
I'll say the Grand Slam or the Hail Mary.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, the question is more exciting. So you have to go back and try to remember that initial reaction that you had.
I went sprinting out of my house and down the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And granted, if I had not been a media member present for the Wright State game, my pants probably would have been off, and I would have been sprinting all around Lindsey Nelson Stadium.
Like Tony Martello?
Yes, just with my pants off. Possibly shirt off as well. Just everything off, potentially. Will Ferrell style and old school.
Yuck. So, my initial reaction, and I wasn't like yelling and screaming. I was just like, I was watching it happen. I was like, oh man, we caught it.
Oh, nice catch, Juwan.
I was like, nice catch, nice play. I was kind of like Kawhi when they showed Kawhi at the game the other day, and they were like, look at Kawhi, he's crazy, he's going crazy, and he's just kind of sitting there. That's how I watch games. Now, I was excited and had a crazy reaction when Henry To'oTo'o committed to Tennessee when he announced. But, like, my reaction was more when Henry committed than Juwan's catch.
Something is wrong with you.
I don't know. I don't know why. It just happened. Like, it just happened like that. I didn't even see the Evan Russell Grand Slam like live. I stepped out for a second and then came back in, and I'm looking, and it happened. So like, I'm the wrong person to ask. I think the best person to ask would be someone who's not media, so you couldn't react, and it's someone who actually watched it both in real time. That's a really great question.
How did we word that same question like that Monday after the Gilbert Grand Slam? Because we worded it somehow to where we both
most clutch.
Yeah,
the most clutch
which
moment.
it was Gilbert because it's an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah, but this question is
more exciting.
And so it's different because, like, you have to basically go back and relive your reaction and how excited you were. And, everyone's different, right? If you watched it live, I mean, obviously you're going to have a different reaction than if you missed it and had to go back and watch the replays. Mm-hmm. So that's a really good question, though. But two really cool moments in Tennessee athletic history, which is why you should go support Joey Kent's business, thatlegendaryplay.com, because they create prints from those legendary moments. And it's a great concept, and Joey's a great friend, mentor, big brother, and it's an awesome idea. What it, kind of transformed into, and I know you got a print.
Mm-hmm. I got one for my dad for Father's Day of the Drew Gilbert Grand Slam of his Grand Slam print. I got that from my dad and ordered me one as well. And when I get moved into a house, it is going to be framed and up on the wall in my office.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
What are you going to tell me?
Joey Kent's company can crush it with this NIL. Because if you can contact the players on your own and get these things signed.
Which he's already doing, because you can. One of the prints that you can get is the play number 1 against Alabama when Peyton hit Joey over the middle of the field and he took it to the house for a touchdown. You can get that print signed by just Joey, or you can get it signed by Joey and Peyton for a price. And so if
take Evan Russell, for example, because he's a current player.
Well, I was going to put, like, I know y'all make fun of me and my special teams stuff. Make fun of my love for special teams. And you'll enjoy that. We're doing our video previews over at VolQuest, and Brent Hubbs assigned me the special teams. I'm sure you'll appreciate that. But
I'm not interested in your section.
If Chase McGrath kicks a game-winning field goal against Florida or Georgia, like Will Hoyt did against Florida, print that out. The kicker could make money off of that, a lot of money. I would love to have a print of the Will Hoyt kick against Florida,
or even just a photo. Like you can turn that photo around. Woo, woo. You know what I'm afraid of changing? What I am afraid of changing is spring game, where players used to sign autographs for free. Like, players sign autographs for free for an hour and then go play a spring game. So which player is going to be an a-hole and be like, sorry, kid. That's going to cost you.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be no different than professional sports now, because, like, when the Yankees play in Atlanta, I get there early and get in when they open the gates so I can go down and stand by, like, the Yankees dugout and hope to get some autographs. Last time I did it, I got an autograph from CeCe Sabathia, and I got a photo with CeCe. And so, like, yeah, I'm going to the Yankees and Braves in August to watch the Braves beat the Yankees twice. And I'm going to get in the gates as soon as they'll let me, and I'm going to try to get down there and get along the field during BP so I can, who knows, take a photo with whoever. Or, I mean, obviously, I named my dog Judge. I have an Aaron Judge jersey, so I'd love to get Aaron Judge's autograph. But my point in bringing this up is that at professional events, you see people get there early and try to get down low before ushers make you go to your seats in hopes of getting a player to autograph something for them, and it's their discretion. It's up to the player. It's up to Aaron Judge if he wants to come down the line and sign things for fans and take photos with fans. It's up to him whether he wants to do that or not. It's the same at the NBA level. You see Ja Morant after he finishes his individual warm-up before the game and he's heading back into the tunnel, and he'll stop and sign things for people as well. But it's up to him whether he wants to do that or not. So I think college players will start doing the same, because they'll have other opportunities during the offseason to go to signings, a 30-minute at a sports card store that is paying him to sign, and he's getting paid additional money potentially from fans to sign their stuff. And so now it's going to be, I think you'll see less student athletes signing things for fans, because now they're kind of making more of that decision like the professional players do at the next level.
I would sign for the kids. I wouldn't sign for the grown-ups that walk up to you with 4 or 5 helmets, because you know what they're about to do with it.
How much money are these kids going to make after the games?
Hour 3 coming up.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Hour number 3 here on the Swain event, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. Let's get to our guy Vol Nation on the Iris Networks hotline. 90 days, no payment for business internet. Vol Nation, good morning.
AKA Papa T.
Morning, family. How y'all doing, man?
We are great, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
I don't know how we're going to be able to call you Papa T, man. We so used to Vol Nation.
I feel like that should be reserved for the grandkids as well.
Yeah, we call it
right.
Yeah, or Papa Nation. I don't know, man.
It's all good, man. Like I said, I go by both now. You know, I got people at the church call me Papa T because they know my daughter and everybody. So it's a mixture depending on what environment I'm in, you know, so or where I'm at. So it's all good. Either or, I answer to either or. So, but you know, I was listening, or actually on, I guess, Twitter or whatever. And I saw your question about if you had 4th and 1, who you would get a rock to.
Oh yeah,
and,
Twitter.
Yeah, and my thing, you know, I'd have to give it to Jamal Lewis or Travis Henry. Those are my two. We have a lot of great backs in the history, but you know, for me, you know, I look at those two, and you know what Travis Henry did in that Arkansas game where he just would not be stopped, you know, and then Jamal Lewis through his whole career, man, he that guy was just amazing to watch, you know. So those are my two right there, man. Who'd you pick? I don't even remember who you picked.
Oh, I picked the Gator Killer, man, Jabbar Davis.
Oh, yes.
240 pounds.
big thighs, big old bubble tank butt. You ain't gonna be able to just knock him back in the backfield.
Who do y'all think Butch Jones would take?
4th and 1. The field goal kicker.
The kicker, Aaron Medley.
He do a quarterback sneak with Garantano.
Yeah.
No,
Or
JG would do it himself.
Or Quentin Dormady in the shotgun running a combination route like he did against Florida.
Because they don't practice under center.
Yeah, because they don't practice in the center.
Right. Well, no doubt.
Man, I'll throw something else.
I can see Swain getting a headache now.
Nah,
but
the Alabama
hey,
game
man,
triggered me.
I was listening to y'all earlier, and y'all were mentioning about the reactions and things. I think that's a really good question. I think about environment. Swain being at home by himself, Swain being maybe at a sports bar with friends, maybe dead end, or Swain being in the stadium itself. I mean, can you imagine being in the stadium in Athens when that took place, and you wearing your Tennessee orange?
That's a great point, because I got all girls in my house, so I wouldn't. My reaction would probably be different if I was watching the game with Stokes, or being at the house, or some of my former teammates or some friends. That's a good point.
Yeah, and so I think it's all about environment, man. Because I mean, we was at the house, and as soon as they know, and seeing all those dog fans all depressed, and you jumping around acting crazy. I mean, that would have been just a totally lit moment. I mean, I would have paid money to be there, definitely, for that moment, man. But also, if you, like I said, thinking about the environment with Henry T, unless you were there, and there wasn't many of us there, that was an iconic moment for me, because I got a chance to see Swain literally run for one. And he ran out the door, and he's in the parking lot dead end running around. And then to see Vol Patriot picking him up, trying to carry him around, it was hilarious, man. But it was pandemonium when Henry T picked Tennessee, man. I mean, everybody in the room was just like beside themselves, and it was just a fun moment, man. Like I said, one of those things you just had to be there to experience. That's in my memory. I probably got it in my phone, but it's in my memory, and that'll last for a lifetime, man.
Yeah. If I was at home by myself, I wouldn't have a reaction to Henry T picking Tennessee.
Yeah, I
honest.
can see that, because listening to you, man, how you analyze stuff, you be just tuned into the game. It's just another play for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you kind of compartmentalize and put yourself in a box where you're preparing to take notes and preparing for the show, or just break down because that's what you enjoy to do.
Yeah,
but
you
like
can't do it with emotions. Yeah, you can't do it with emotions. Yep.
You can't. And then, like I said, the last thing, man, game one, we're going to be in town, so I convinced Miss Vol Nation to come with me. Can't wait for game one for this season. Can't wait to see what product Josh Heupel and the staff puts out on the field, man. I think this offense, if they groom a quarterback, which I personally think Milton is going to be the guy that starts, and he immediately presents a problem, just because they do like running the football, and there's so many options when you have a mobile quarterback, as we've seen with J Dobbs when he was out here. I mean, you got this dude 6'5", 240, 50 pounds or whatever it is. And I mean, if he gets past the linebackers, or if he gets to the linebackers, he's big as a linebacker, if not bigger. And so just having that as an option, and then I think that's going to present a lot of one-on-one coverage. I think with the spread offense that you do have, and everybody have with their wide splits and everything, is going to just create a lot of problems. And if we can get a quarterback that understands that and can work in this system enough to where we don't beat ourselves, I think they can put some points on the board. And if the defense, which looks like the defense is kind of shaping up to be, pretty decent, I think we could have a decent season. My expectations, as long as we can get to 6-6, 7-5, get to I don't know if we'll go to a bowl or not, but that would be a successful year. Anything more than that, 6-6, 7-5, I'd be ecstatic. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I'm not confident in defense right now. I feel like Heupel, everywhere he's been, he's found a way to put up points. He's an offensive wizard. So I expect him to do the same thing here. But I don't have high expectations for the defense, which is why I just don't I just don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna see and how teams are gonna react to Heupel in the SEC. I do remember when Gus Malzahn hit the SEC for the first time and he gave people fits and then people adjusted. I remember when Paul Johnson hit Georgia Tech and he gave people fits his first year and people adjusted. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I don't have high expectations for the defense because the defensive line, I don't have a lot of confidence in, even though Rodney Garner is probably the best defensive line coach that we've had here since he was here the last time. You look at him and Dan Brooks and Coach Caldwell. Rodney Garner is one of the best, but he just doesn't have a lot to work with.
True, I can see that. Like I said, I think for me, I think we've got some talent. How that looks and how it translates on the football field, I have no idea. I know we need some more depth. I know we need some more of everything. But like I said, I'm just ready to see some football. I'm ready to see some Tennessee orange. Even if it's Tennessee black, I can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I'm okay with it. You know what I'm talking about? With the transition of the uniforms, because that's just how it is today. Kids like that. Whatever gets them hype and gets them energized and motivates them to go out there and play at a high level. When I was growing up, when I go to the basketball court, it wasn't just going to the basketball court just to play. I had to look good doing it. And then after I schooled you, I had to tell you about it. And so that if that's a part of your psyche, to look good, feel good, play good, then that's what it's about, And I think having options is always good, man. So, hey, bro, I appreciate y'all, man. Love you guys, and get ready for this grandbaby here another 5-6 weeks, something like that. Had to take a picture with some Tennessee orange on, so and send it to everybody. So
let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Breaking news. Today is the birthday of loyal listener Ryan Lau, who listens to the show every single day. And today's his birthday. So we want to wish Ryan Lau a happy, happy birthday, who is turning 31 today. So I have learned about you, Ryan, birthday boy, that you've been a Tennessee fan since you were in diapers because of your grandfather going to Tennessee, and your whole family bleeds orange. And so we just want to honor you and tell you happy birthday here on the Swain Event, and we hope you have many more, and that we appreciate you listening and supporting our program. And happy birthday, Ryan Lau. Ben, what you getting Ryan for his birthday?
Water at Dead End.
Yeah, Ryan, there you go, man. All the water you can possibly want or need, we got you taken care of.
It's hot outside. We need to hydrate.
I mean, that's why the gift is very valuable right now, man.
Exactly.
It's really hot.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's really, really hot. Really, really hot. Oh, hold on, Ben. Turn it down for a quick little second. Hold on. Quick little second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hold on. I gotta do something right quick. Yeah.
Tlinga. Hail State.
Let's go, Bulldogs. Let's go, Mississippi State. That's the way you battle back. Mississippi State. We can do this. We can do this, Mississippi State. Come on.
State.
Come on, Mississippi State.
Great effort last night. Way to beat down those doors.
Good job, Mississippi State. We can do this.
Let's go, Will Bednar.
Let's go.
Let's go, Tanner Allen.
Yeah, what Ben said.
And Rowdy Jordan.
Yeah, Rowdy Jordan. Yeah.
Let's go, Rowdy. Let's get Rowdy.
Yeah, let's go.
Hail State.
All right, now we can go to break. Swain Event, be right back.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
All right, it's time for around the SEC. We know what's going on around the SEC here at midnight. We know what's about to be happening. Woo! Get your popcorn ready. But there's other things to discuss outside the NIL. So, Ben, what we have?
Really only one note to bring up, and that is that Darius Days is returning to LSU next season. Per a release, Darius Days was an early entrant to the NBA draft, and he has decided to return to school. He's coming back for his senior season, which is big news for Will Wade. Good news for Will Wade. Darius Days, a very good basketball player. So that was the biggest news around the SEC yesterday, outside of Mississippi State beating down Vanderbilt last night, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I believe the final score ended up being 13-1, which you always love to see. And this did happen late last night, but Ole Miss picked up a transfer receiver from Missouri, Jalen Knox. A former Missouri receiver, Jalen Knox, who had 77 catches, 1,031 receiving yards, and 4 touchdowns during his time at Missouri.
Good pickup.
He is officially listed on the Ole Miss roster.
It's a good pickup for Lane.
It is indeed. I wonder if he'll follow Lane to Lane's next stop.
It depends on what jobs open this year.
It's one way to look at it.
It's not necessarily SEC related, but it is noteworthy to mention, and we haven't mentioned it yet, but Penny Hardaway is returning to Memphis after interviewing with the Orlando Magic, and he's hiring Larry Brown, longtime NBA coach, college coach, and when you think about coaches that have a checkered past as far as compliance is concerned, that Penny shouldn't bring in, he brought in Larry Brown, who is one of the best basketball minds that the game has ever known. Larry Brown knows how to deal with egos. He coached AI. He dealt with AI, and AI had the most success under Larry Brown. So he's going to provide a ton of help for Penny Hardaway, but I don't know if he's going to be there more than 2 or 3 years without getting in trouble.
Which is funny because Penny is bringing Larry Brown in on the heels of the James Wiseman stuff. Like the investigation, I don't know that the investigation is still going on, but that whole situation is still going on, and punishment can come down at any day for Memphis for the James Wiseman situation. And here they are bringing in Larry Brown.
I mean,
Memphis gonna Memphis. Memphis, man. Memphis gonna Memphis. And also, I love Penny sitting here saying, it's a dream of mine to coach in the NBA, but right now just isn't the right time. We have unfinished business at Memphis. I do agree with that part, Penny. It'd be nice for you to make the NCAA tournament at least once with your team.
Should be making it every year.
It's not unfinished business. They didn't offer you. That's what happened. You're not choosing to go back to Memphis. That's your only option. I love how things are spun when it comes to coaching searches.
PR game, man. PR game. But, Larry Brown was, he had left SMU, with sanctions. He was suspended for 30% of the team's games one season. He's had compliance issues with the NCAA before going to the NBA because he was in college coach at that time too. So we'll see how it plays out. I don't think Larry Brown is going to be a head coach anytime soon. So this is a good pickup for Penny. I mean, just don't get me wrong now. Just because he has some compliance issues and a checkered past when it comes to that doesn't mean that you don't bring him on. He's an unbelievable basketball mind, and you want guys around you who are better than you. So, yeah, man, Larry Brown was an assistant at North Carolina back in his day. He was a head coach at UCLA for a couple of years there in the late 70s, early 80s. He coached at Kansas. He was a head coach at Kansas for 6 years in the 80s. And then from Kansas, he went to NBA. So, hey, man, hell of a pickup for Penny Hardaway. Hell of a pickup. Can't deny that. So, you know who mad this morning? The same person who was happy that Penny possibly could go to the NBA. That same person probably a little upset. Dang it! Coach Cal. Coach Calipari. Is it Calipari or Calipari?
Coach Cal.
Yeah. Rick's son.
Both Rick's son. Rick Pitino and Rick Barnes.
I don't know, man. I don't know the win-loss record against Rick Pitino.
I don't either.
But
I'm just choosing to believe that it is not good.
But
Coach Cal.
But yeah, man. I just wanted to mention that because that's noteworthy. We recruit against them, and do we play them this year?
Yes, I believe
because we played them there, and then we played them home. I think the third game was supposed to be a neutral site game, right?
It was supposed to be played in Nashville last year.
So they doing it this year?
I believe so. I'm checking let's see if they've posted it on utsports.com because they've announced several non-conference games. They are December 18th in Nashville. Listen to this non-conference schedule.
Oh, it's ruthless.
You start with Tennessee Martin, November 9th. ETSU, Desmond Oliver.
And then it gets real.
That's Sunday. And then you play in the Hall of Fame tip-off tournament at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. The Mohegan Sun is the one in Connecticut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. That's not my area of expertise. At this Hall of Fame tip-off tournament, which is November 20th and November 21st, Tennessee will play Villanova on Saturday, and then they will play North Carolina or Purdue on Sunday. Come back home and play Tennessee Tech. They play Presbyterian. And then on December 4th, they go to Colorado, part of the home and home that they scheduled last year because Colorado came here because of that connection with Kim English. That's December 4th. Then December 7th, 3 days later, they go to Madison Square Garden to play Texas Tech in the Jimmy V Classic. Now, they actually caught a break with that since old Chris Beard took the Texas job. I'd rather play Texas Tech now than last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Mac McClung's going to be back at Texas Tech, so Tennessee fans will finally be able to see Mac McClung in a Tennessee uniform on the same floor.
Josiah lock him up. Josiah Jordan James will lock him up.
Jemai Mashak will lock him up, and Josiah. You don't think Santiago will stick him? And then after the Texas Tech game on the 7th, their next currently scheduled game is a week and a half later against Memphis on a Saturday, December 18th in Nashville. Then after that game, they come back on December 22nd and play Arizona at home, which that game doesn't really terrify. Arizona hasn't been Arizona the last couple of years. Sean Miller's been more concerned about saving his job.
Well, they got a new coach. They got the coach from assistant coach from Gonzaga.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a game Tennessee should win. And then the other non-conference game currently scheduled is at Texas, January 29th.
It's taking long enough to make this happen.
Well, I think a certain somebody didn't necessarily want that to happen.
Who, Rick?
Yes. I think he wanted to let it breathe for a couple of years.
Hey, man, I know Rick is all about the Bible, and it says in the Bible to turn the other cheek. But forget that, Rick. They fired you, man. They fired you, Rick. You turn the other cheek and you come back around with a backhand. They fired you, Rick. Put up 20. And when you're up 20, don't put Uros in. Pour it on. Pour it on.
Big Shot Rob said that Mac is in the draft. He's been playing in the G League games. I believe he's just playing in the camp, the G League elite camp, and then he's going through the combine, which still allows him, although he did say he was going to sign with an agent. So, never mind. He's going to remain in the draft. No Mac McClung.
Oh, he lucky, man. He lucky. He don't want to see them.
Yeah, he didn't want to catch these hands.
From Josiah Jordan James.
No. He thought he thinks that he can get away with being the West white boy on the floor. Little did he know Justin Powell was coming to Tennessee. He was scared of Justin Powell. He didn't want to be the second best white boy on the floor because Justin Powell is going to be the best white boy between that matchup.
I hope so. But we don't have to worry about it, so we good.
Tlinga.
Yeah, we good. We're good, so.
Please, Josiah and Jemai would have him in handcuffs.
That's a hell of a out of conference schedule. That might be the toughest out of conference schedule maybe that Rick Barnes has put together preseason.
Definitely brand name. There's a couple schools on that list who probably not going to be up to what they typically are. You could play North Carolina. They have a first-year head coach. Arizona, first-year head coach. What was the other school that I mentioned?
You mentioned Villanova, but
yeah, they'll be good.
But all those teams, like
Texas is going through a coaching change as well. Colorado, they lose their best player. Texas Tech going through a coaching change. So the brand name, it is a heck of a schedule, but I think it can be a little misleading, a little deceiving.
I mean, they don't have to be freaking, Elite Eight, worthy, teams. I mean, those are all programs that they're going to have good players.
Yeah, you're right. But
Yeah.
you hear Arizona and North Carolina and Villanova and Texas and Memphis, Texas Tech recently, and
you can lose all of those games.
Yeah, you can. You can, absolutely.
So they may not be, Elite Eight caliber teams. We can look at who's returning and all that, but they'll have good players, and we are putting a team together that there's a lot of new faces, and we're playing them early, and so there's going to be some kinks that need to be worked out, and you can take some L's. You can take some L's in those games.
We got For What coming up next.
Oh!
Because Swain has a good one, but I do have a question about Santiago. You can either answer it quickly as we go to break, or we can wait for after For What. Santiago not currently with the team because he is trying to make the Olympic team in Uruguay. How much of a concern is that for you with trying to piece all of these new puzzle pieces together and a guy who's going to be a primary ball handler? I mean, he's not here during the summer. Is that a big concern for you?
That's a good question. After For What, we'll talk about it. Swain Event. Be right back.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own repair for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy. When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. I'm excited to share my new Keller Williams Realty app so you can tour homes without leaving yours. Not only can you search for homes in specific areas and neighborhoods, you can also have access to real-time market snapshots on stats like average home price and days on market, plus commute times from your office, school zones, and much more. Download my app today and get the most accurate information on buying, selling, and investing in real estate in your area. Just search for the Keller Williams Realty app and click on More in the lower right-hand corner. Type in Jennifer Morris in the Your Agent search bar, then save and you're set. And as always, feel free to reach out at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit. You get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
Music fans, I just want to apologize now if this is your favorite artist, because today's for what goes to rapper Pooh Shiesty. His decision making should have been questioned the moment he named himself Pooh Shiesty, to be honest. But
such a bad rap name.
It's a terrible rap name. It might be the worst rap name of all time.
It truly makes me never want to go listen to his music. Like, I have heard people talk about him having some songs that are good, and I've been at the gym thinking, let me go try out Pooh Shiesty. And then I say Pooh Shiesty in my head, I'm like, no, I refuse to listen to somebody whose rap name is Pooh Shiesty. How do you have the word Pooh in your rap name? That alone isn't for what, but he did something even more stupid to even top having Pooh in his rap name.
I've been on my Tupac lately, to be honest. Man, taking it back. This is so crazy. The feds have indicted rapper Pooh Shiesty over the alleged shooting and robbery of two men outside a Bay Harbor Islands hotel. The rapper, whose real name is Lontrell Williams, is now in federal custody and made his first Miami federal court appearance on Tuesday afternoon. The charges are disarming a firearm during a violent crime, conspiracy, and robbery under the law regulating commerce. Williams, 21, had been charged and freed on bond in Miami-Dade State Court over the same incident. But earlier this month, he was put back in jail on a separate charge over the alleged shooting of a security guard at the King of Diamonds strip club on Memorial Day. According to the criminal complaint, the trio in October, including Shiesty, arranged to buy some marijuana and some high-end athletic sneakers from two men at the Landon Hotel in Harbor Bay Islands. Williams showed up in a rented McLaren exotic car, and one of the other guys showed up in a Mercedes-Benz Maybach. Very distinct, easy to recognize vehicles.
Just a little bit.
During the deal, Williams and Brown shot the two other men, one in the hip and the other in the rear end. According to the complaint, the robbery was captured on video surveillance, according to the criminal complaint by the Miami-Dade detective, who is now part of the FBI Violent Crimes Task Force. Williams, a.k.a. Pooh Shiesty, had a Louis Vuitton bag that fell out of the McLaren. It contained $40,000, right under $41,000. Just days before the robbery, the Fed said his Instagram featured photos of himself with long rifles and a plethora of $100 bills. One of the bills in the bag had the same serial number as the one depicted on his Instagram. His Instagram account also featured him posting what appeared to be the same green McLaren that was involved in the crime. So, rented McLaren to go commit a crime, and it was green. And then the money that stolen that you posted on Instagram trying to get likes, trying to get that clout, the feds used that as evidence against you because they matched the serial numbers. Pooh Shiesty. You get it for what today?
A big one.
A big one.
He is a poo.
More of the story. Number one, just don't commit crimes. Don't be robbing folks like that. That's the moral story. But don't be stupid while being stupid. Don't be stupid while being stupid. Social media clout, man, has ruined folks. Has made it easy for law enforcement to catch criminals in the act because they're trying to impress a bunch of people that they don't even know. You don't even know these people, but you out here trying to impress them. I don't understand it. The things that people will say, people will do just for some clout from people they don't even know. So he gets today's for what? Pooh Shiesty. All right, Ben, your question before we went to break was about Santiago Vescovi.
It was. He did make the national team for Uruguay. And because he did, he's not currently with the team. And there are several new pieces to this basketball team, and seems like developing chemistry over the summer before practice begins in September would be vital. Are you concerned about this hurting the team chemistry? And we should also note that Kennedy Chandler has also been away at times as he pursues it's the under-19 USA team. I don't know the exact team that he's been trying to make, but he also has been trying to make one of the national teams as well. But I've also seen photos of Kennedy in Knoxville working out with a team because it's different. Kennedy can go off for a week and try out for a team and then come back to Knoxville because he's in the United States. Santiago, not necessarily a quick trip to go try to make the national team.
Yeah, Kenny Chandler made the roster for the U.S. basketball 19 under team.
Yeah, the World Cup under-19 World Cup team.
He's one of 12 players, so that's just an unbelievable accomplishment and the experience that he's going to cherish for the rest of his life.
And that team will compete in the 2021 FIBA Under-19 World Cup in Latvia from July 3rd to July 11th. The USA, which is in Group D, will open the tournament against Turkey on July 3rd. So he'll be away from the team beginning on Friday, Saturday.
So hit me with the Vescovi question again.
I mean, I think it's fair to throw Kennedy in there. He's not been here at all times this summer. But Kennedy Chandler, Santiago Vescovi, two potential key ball handlers. Two key ball handlers for Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Not with Tennessee at times this summer. How concerned are you with that affecting the chemistry with so many new pieces this season?
So I'm not concerned, but it will affect the chemistry. Anytime that you are not with your team, you're missing out on opportunity to build chemistry, whether it's on the court or off the court. So I don't think it's a question of whether or not chemistry will be affected. The question that you just asked me is how concerned am I? I'm not concerned because I think in what you may lose as far as time to have chemistry with your teammates, you're going to gain some experience that's going to make you a better individual basketball player because Vescovi, the reason why he came in and was prepared to play mid-semesters because, man, he's been going up against professionals for years. And I think that experience is going to make him a better basketball player. I think this experience for Kenny Chandler is going to make him a better basketball player. So you may lose a little bit on the chemistry side because they're not with the team and they're going to spend some time away. But I think you gain with their sense of urgency, their focus, them being able to go up against players just as good, if not better than them, and competing. So it's worth. And if you're Rick Barnes, what are you gonna do? You tell them they can't do it? Like no college coach should be telling their players they can't go compete and represent their country. Like it's a hell of a freaking honor to be able to do that. So I don't think it's necessarily concerning. Vescovi, this is his third season inside of the system. Kenny Chandler's a heck of a player. He'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. So I'm not overly concerned.
And for background on what Santiago is doing, we just told you what Kennedy is doing. Santiago is trying to qualify him in Uruguay. Is it Uruguay or Uruguay? I think it's Uruguay. Somebody correct me on the text box. Uruguay is attempting to qualify for the Olympics, and Santiago was one of the 12 players who made the team. It was initially cut down to a 16-man roster after tryouts, and then Vescovi made the cut for the finalized 12-man roster after having practiced in Uruguay with the team for the past 2 weeks. And the tournament actually started last night, and Turkey beat Uruguay 95-86. I'm trying to find a box score from the game. This article on FIBA basketball does have a quote from Santiago. We were believing from the start of the game. We believed the whole game that we could win it. Then it's just basketball and different situations can happen, and I think we just did everything we could. So I'm trying to find a box score from Uruguay's game last night against Turkey, but Turkey won 95-86. I don't know what that means for Uruguay going forward. I would imagine that they have a second game. So that tournament, the Olympic tryout, so to speak, began yesterday for Santiago on Tuesday and runs through July 4th, which July 4th is Sunday, correct? Saturday, Sunday, runs through this weekend.
July 4th is on a Sunday. It is on a Sunday. Looking at my calendar. Somebody has to do
So
somebody has a dentist
Santiago
appointment
playing
tomorrow.
basketball this week.
Oh, my kids have a dentist appointment tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Somebody do. It ain't me. I already had mine 2 weeks ago. But yeah, July 4th is on Sunday.
So no, I agree with you. I don't think it'll have a huge impact. If there was somebody on the team that has proven they can be away from the team and come in and still have an impact, it's Santiago Vescovi. He was literally thrown in mid-season.
It's like quarterbacks going to the Peyton Manning camp as a counselor. Like, you're gonna be gone for a week, and yeah, you're gonna lose a week throwing with your receivers. But think about what you can gain being around Peyton Manning for a week, and the conversation that you can have with Peyton and Eli and Archie, whether it's at dinner or whatever, the nuggets that you can pick up, that might be more valuable than a week throwing with your receivers. I mean, so you got to think of it that way.
Santiago had a good game last night. Played 24 minutes, 9 points, 3 of 6 from 3. He was 3 of 6 for the game as a whole. He only took 3-pointers. 3 of 6, shot 50%. Had 4 rebounds and assists. Did not have a turnover.
Okay.
Now it looks like he did struggle defensively. He had 4 fouls.
I mean, that's his weakness.
And we don't know how he got the fouls.
But we know
you can probably assume.
We know that's his weakness, guarding a quicker point guard.
And then he had the best plus-minus on the team of 6.
Okay. Vescovi, that's what I'm talking about. All right, let me hit this text box.
Let's get to the phone first. We got Joe in Augusta.
Joe. Good morning, Joe.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's
I got
up?
2 or 3 things real quick, and I'll jump off here. All right, the first one. I heard Vol Nation talking about being in Athens for the Hail Mary. I was there. It was amazing. The part of the stands had cleared out because we had that interception before they got the ball back and scored. But everybody was super loud. They were throwing cups down. They were celebrating, and then we just shut them down. It was so awesome. I ran down the stands and grabbed some dude that was a Tennessee fan in the middle of all the red like I was, and we just started hugging each other and jumping up and down.
Did you run around there like Tony Vitello?
Dude, it was awesome. I think Vescovi will be better for playing in the Olympics. I don't think it's going to hurt much because he's going to be out there against these grown men. So I like that. I hope he does well. And the third thing, as a former receiver, your timing is still impeccable because this morning I was taking a video of this moron who got an 18-wheeler stuck, and they're trying to get it loose with a backhoe. And right about the time I'm taking the video, I hear you on the radio say, "Don't be stupid while you're being stupid." So timing is still there, baby.
I love it, man. Thank you.
Well, have a good day.
You too, Joe. Other McKee says Santi is playing with the best his country has to offer and the best coach in his country. All of them speak his language. This is too good of an opportunity for him to pass up. He also says that Uruguay is not going to qualify. They have a tough group. 423 Vol asks, when is Vitello signing an extension? See, what had happened was we are at the middle of the week, so
I thought it was going to be done Monday or Tuesday, but they're taking their time. They have some details that both sides are maybe being a little.
It's negotiation.
Yeah,
they're negotiating.
Yes, and it's only on like 1 or 2 things. So both sides think that they are close to being done. They're just being real stingy on the part that each side is trying to negotiate.
Hey, both sides got to look out for the best interests of themselves, and you have to respect that and understand that. But there's a team of players and a fan base that is counting on this thing to be done, and so we wait more. Tremel says, I'm with y'all with the chemistry, but they'll be better, though. Ella McKee says, Santi has already proven he can develop chemistry quick with a team. Brandon B. and Chip Payne talking about today's for what with Pooh Shiesty. Brandon B. says he's living out his lyrics. Chip Payne says you're playing yourself if you don't think the FBI or law enforcement is not on social media, especially Instagram. Hey man, let folks bury themselves, man. By trying to please people they don't even know, but likes. Let's see here what else is on. Smile says 3-2 was the final score. Mississippi State Vandy. Gold Dogs hate Vandy.
Clanger. Hell State.
We're talking about Darius Days. He says he decided he would make more money at LSU. Neil Mafia says, breaking news. I hate y'all. Had me thinking Tony Vitello was signed. Hey, man. Ron Lyle's birthday is today. Tony's going to sign, all right? He's going to sign. It's just a matter of when. Tremel says, can we call Mrs. Vol Nation Mrs. Papa T? No, Tremel. We're not doing that. She is Miss Vol Nation. Miss Vol Nation. And Thomas is Mr. Vol Nation. We already shared our opinions on Penny and the Dave Brown hiring. Let me get over here to Facebook and YouTube. Josh Brown says the Hail Mary was more of a shock, but it's close. I wasn't surprised on the Grand Slam, just pumped. We were talking about, the most exciting play. Was it the walk-off Grand Slam or the Hail Mary against Georgia in 16? So I think it just depends on personal preference and where people were and who they were with. I think that influences your excitement level and your reaction. Matthew says, guys, I'm having a tough time getting excited for Tennessee football, knowing we have no goal in mind, like no SEC championship to play or bowl game. Help me get excited for this season. I hope we play spoiler. I can't help you. I'm human, and I shared this, I think, yesterday. I'm not completely dead inside about Tennessee football, but I am looking forward to seeing how the offense is going to come together, and I am, looking forward to seeing the culture change and seeing a example of that, seeing it play out. But my excitement level is not the same as it was before at this point of the offseason, and that's okay. That's normal. I don't have anything negative to say. I'm not sitting here, bashing everything that Tennessee football does or don't do. But I ain't pumped right now. Not right now.
Can I throw in a random note on the way out the door?
I don't really have a reason to be, honestly. Yes, please.
Totally random, and most are not going to care. But I have to get this off my chest.
Nobody cares about the Yankees.
Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball, and it's not even close. This dude
hit a couple home runs yesterday, didn't he?
In an L to the Yankees, by the way. This dude has a 2.55 ERA in 11 starts this season. Throws a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, has a splitter that falls off the table, and then he steps to the plate, leads the league in home runs, is on pace for 60 home runs. This dude is like
Babe Ruth.
Nothing else. No, but
didn't Babe Ruth pitch?
Yeah, but Babe Ruth pitched against a bunch of white drunks in the 30s who were unathletic. Shohei Ohtani is the ball just. I had to get that off my chest.
Fueled by Dead End Barbecue for Ben McKee and Jason Swain. Peace and love. We are out. Have a great day.